Setting goals gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation. On today's episode, we're going to give you some life hacks and some tips on how to stick to your goals. Can you believe it? We are already in June. Half the year's gone. And if you really go and dive into the goals that you've set in the beginning of the year, are you still motivated and fired up to achieve them all? If not, please continue watching this episode. Next to me, as always, Anne-Marie Meyer. Number one, goals give you focus.
Definitely. If you don't set goals, you will end up just carrying on with life as normal. You have to in the beginning of a year, but people tend to lose it by the mid-year. And I think this is what I like about this program, is the fact that we're in the middle of the year and there's most probably a lot of people that have lost a couple of goals. We shifted a couple of goals. So that by resetting that goal, sticking to it, it keeps you focused. So even if you change it by now, it's good, but it keeps you focused for another couple of months again. If you can get your goals right through the year, you're super.
Goals also help you measure progress and help you stay motivated. Remember, if you can't measure something, you can't improve on it. So
Our key ingredient.
absolutely. So you know, if you have a goal to do X amount of sales by the end of the year, you can't in November, quadruple your sales. You have to progressively hit certain numbers every quarter to be able to reach your goals.
Yeah, and you can't in November decide, okay, I now need to make it if you've lost track.
No, you can't.
You can't do it.
It
So
keeps
you
you
need to
motivated.
measure.
Absolutely. Helps you beat procrastination. Oh, that big ugly word. It helps you beat it.
It's going to, first of all, as I said in the beginning, it's going to help you to stay focused, but it's something that you need to trigger on a daily basis. So the moment you've got a specific goal, and even if you miss it today, if you just wake up tomorrow morning again saying, reminder, I've got a goal, you need to start focus. So it's going to help you. If you don't set goals, you don't have anything tracking you or looking after you. A goal is that bit of a reminder to stay focused.
Having goals, sticking to them helps you achieve even more. So I always say, if you want something done, give it to the busiest person.
The more you do, the more you can do.
Absolutely. So, having that mindset of, in order for me to hit this, I need to create activity that leads me getting to my goal.
Rolling ball.
Goals help you determine what you want in life.
Oh, definitely. If it weren't for these goals, you would have lost focus, first of all. And it's that little goal that triggers the bigger goal. And that is normally the one thing ended up, this is where I want to be. And it's not about money. This is where I want to be in life. This is what I want to achieve. All know that my function is, I just want to enrich people around me. And it's a goal for me. And if it was never set, I would have just carried on.
And to follow up on that, I just would like to read a quote by an expert in the subject, philanthropist and author, Mr. Tony Robbins. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible.
Brilliant.
But how do you stick to those goals? And I think this is the real value and body of our episode today. Are you ready to give it today?
Of course, you need to set the goal
to
stick to the goal. That's all you need to do. Once you've done that, you will be focused. But start by setting goals. People don't set goals.
100%. Now, how do you stick to them? The first point that we make is you have to involve others.
Yes, that's the one thing that we've done so many times before. The more people you tell, they're going to keep you accountable.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Absolutely. Visualize the reward. So, for example, I always wanted to stay in a certain area, in a certain house. I stay there today, but I've stayed there in my mind for the past 10 years. I know exactly what the complex looks like. I know exactly what type of a house I would like. I can smell everything. I can see everything. I know what furniture.
Believing in yourself.
You have to step into that until you actually can step into that. So visualizing is very good. Break down your goals.
You can't set a goal like we just discussed earlier to say, I want to reach a certain amount of vehicles sold by the end of the year. but there's 12 months. There's only 12 months, but break it down. Because if you don't break down a goal, you can't reach it. The moment that a goal is unreachable, and that's why, the moment you
lose
start
focus.
breaking it down, you won't lose focus and you will achieve it.
Reward yourself for all progress made. So I would like the company to do in the thousands. But I said to myself, the moment we break 300 vehicles, as a CEO, I'm going to buy myself a Harley. So
And you did.
the very next day I bought myself a I never drove it, I never rode it, maybe once or twice in a year. My colleagues used it, they had lots of fun. But that next day I said, I'm buying a freaking Harley. I went out and I bought it, one that I loved, and it was just a reward because it's along the journey. If I don't do that, I'm probably not going to be as determined and driven.
I'm bad with the fact that work towards a reward. But yes, we all do it, and you have to do it. For me, it's a different situation, but it's the best having a reward. And that was one thing that you mentioned a couple of years ago. And only once I started doing that. So mine is normally a reward for my team.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I'm just not the kind of person to say I want the reward for myself. So even if the reward is for someone else, someone in a team, or yourself, get a reward.
Must.
Because that is the one thing working.
Must. Measure your progress. Because what can't be measured can't be improved on.
tracked, and it can't. So you have to measure it. And that is, it's as simple. We had a couple of episodes about measuring tracks, but stats, and try and evolve on that. So start with one thing. The moment you start tracking one thing, you're going to quick enough see how you can track more and do it.
Absolutely.
Just start with one thing, one day, one thing at a time.
Absolutely. And finally, believe in the possibility. So if you're going to enter a goal in, let's say, for example, weight loss, you have to believe that you can actually achieve the weight loss that you are targeting to achieve. Because if you don't initially, you'll never do it.
You can't do it.
You'll never do it. So it needs to be a believable goal. You need to stretch yourself and work hard and push, but it needs to be a believable goal.
One day at a time, believable. You have
Absolutely. If you guys agree, enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button,
and ring the bell.
and do me a favor, have yourself a beautiful day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.